Well, hello everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Quest Show. I am Lana Quest, and how's everyone's week going? Tough week, tough day, tough past hour. It's just tough out there, guys. Anyway, before we start the show, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Let me do some closing out over here. And let's just jump into, you know what? Wait, let's take a pause before we jump into the madness and just take some breaths. Let's breathe. 7 o'clock. It's been a long day. Let me turn off my RoboVac because you can hear it. It's very loud. Let's get that out the way. And now let's jump into the show. A lot has gone on this week. In particular, the inauguration happened. I haven't been here since the inauguration happened. So it makes sense to talk about the inauguration. So let's just jump into it and talk about the inauguration. Why not? I'm not going to really play videos of Trump talking at the inauguration. I'm not going to play videos of too many people talking at the inauguration because honestly, who cares? And we don't need to see that. And nobody wants to see that. That's just nonsense. He was his selfish self. He was not thankful. He dissed Biden, Biden's administration, right in front of Biden. Say what you want. I know people think that, President Biden and President Obama and all those folks should not have gone. Michelle Obama said, no, thank you. I believe Mike Pence's wife, mother, said, no, thank you. So, I get it. I understand. You just don't want to start a tradition of when you just don't like the person that's coming in, you just don't show up. I guess I get it. I understand it. But kudos to them for going and having to sit through that nonsense. And poor Kamala literally having to sit at that inauguration. Hi, Michelle. Just talking about the inauguration and how they had to sit there and then listen to that monster just lie and degrade him and act like, what Biden and Kamala did was just awful, and the economy is awful, the world is awful, America is burning, it's on fire, and he is here to save the day because America has mandated him. That's what we heard. So what was interesting, though, at the inauguration, and everyone is talking about it, and of course you guys have heard, was of course not, the felon was not interesting, but the seating was interesting. How in the world do you have the few wealthiest men in the world sitting closest to the felon in chief, before his administration? Why is his administration behind the billionaires? Let's let some people tell us why. They're better versed in it. So let's go here. Let's go to, who are we going to go to first to talk about why this was the case? Let's go here.
Patients platforms. Anyone who's been involved in, after all, anyone who's been involved in planning a wedding understands that seating arrangements are important. They are significant. They are embedded with meaning. And where you put people on the inaugural stage is a strict definition of where you think they rank. And so it wasn't a trivial thing that the wealthiest people to ever walk this planet, who control our communications platforms, were seated in front of the cabinet itself, which, by the way, has a few billionaires and 100 millionaires, but not as wealthy as the people in front, with proximity to power. And that's the point we have to underscore today, which is it was never about reducing the price you pay at the pump. It was never about reducing the price you pay for your mortgage or your rent or your insurance or your grocery bills. It was always about cutting Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, Social Security, public education, in order to pay for the largest tax cut in human history.
And he's not lying, right? Because this is the same thing that Biden said in his farewell speech. This is the same thing that Democrats have been screaming prior to this election. Like, Trump wants a Russia. Like, he wants America to be run like Russia. He wants to be an oligarch. He wants an oligarchy, right? And after the election, again, one of the things that after the inauguration, what people started Googling was, what is an oligarch, right? What is an oligarch? That is like centralized power, and power is only in the hands of the very wealthy. That is how it is in Russia. Putin, as we've been telling you, controls everything in Russia. Russians cannot watch anything on TV unless it's approved by the Putin regime. Everything in their bank accounts have to be approved by the Putin regime. They can't speak out against Putin or they're put in jail. You've seen it. Remember when Navalny, that's how you say his name, he was a prisoner there for speaking out or daring to run against Putin, and they tried to kill him so many times, and they finally put him in jail. And people who spoke out against this was taken off the streets and arrested. That's what Trump wants. Why else would he adore him, right? Like, why else would he adore him? And that is what MAGA voters gave him. I mean, we literally heard people when they were being interviewed during the election time asking them, like, you know, he said he wants to be a dictator on day one. Is that okay with you? Yes. Yes. He says he wants to be a yes. I don't care about that. Donald Trump, he can do whatever he wants. Like, this is what they're saying. So now we all will pay for people who don't really understand what this all means, right? Because it is stunning to see Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, whoever else right there, right next to Donald Trump, in proximity of the power and the cabinet members behind him. That's purposeful. That means that they are arranged in order of importance to Donald Trump, right? Who's more important to him? It's this media conglomerate, right? Because he understands, this is something that he really understands, and Democrats are now just kind of catching up, that you need to utilize the media to your advantage, right? Democrats needed to be on Fox News, not just Pete Buttigieg or Gavin Newsom. All of them needed to be going on Fox News, Jasmine Crockett, all of them, or at least the ones, that really could, have answers for things, quick-witted. Like, those are the ones. I'm not talking about like a Schumer or Adam Schiff, right? Like, because they're very much politicians, and they speak very slowly and explain everything, and it's just too long, right? You just need people who are like really quick, like Pete's really quick. So I digress. He wants the media, and right now he owns the media, right? I wash your back, you wash my back. What do you need, Jeff? Right? What do we need for you to give my wife $40 million for a documentary to keep her busy? What can I do for you? Right? Zuckerberg. We saw a whole video of Zuckerberg. Oh, I'm not going to fact check anymore because it's too political. When did facts become political? Like, how is a fact something that's political? It's a fact. It's the truth. That is not a political thing. But he's not going to fact check anymore on Facebook, on Instagram, like all of these social media platforms, in essence, work for Donald Trump. So that means that everything that we see, our children see, our friends see, is all going to be pro-Trump, pro-Trump, pro-Trump. So that's just going to be hammered. So he is definitely smart in that area because that's what's going to happen. So what we're going to have to work on, our job right now, is to deprogram. I've already started deprogramming my kids, and I'm not even joking. I can go on my phone right now. My kids keep sending me videos of young people on TikTok that hate Trump, that see what's going on. Like because they get it. Like, I'm deprogramming my kids. Like, listen, this is what you're seeing right here is someone else pulling the strings, right? They're trying to change your mind about things. So be very careful about the things that you're watching and seeing because you're being manipulated. So they get it now. So every time they see someone who's not manipulated, they like send it to me. They're like, see, mom, everyone is not being manipulated. They understand, they get it. So I am happy about that. Hey, Brian. So I am happy about that. What else happened? We cannot not talk about Elon Musk and what he did at the inauguration, because again, they don't care anymore, right? All of their deepest desires, the things that they've always thought about, the things that they wanted to do, because they have all the power, they could just do what they want to do. And that's exactly what they're doing. So here is Elon Musk doing exactly what he wants to do. Yeah, yeah. Oh, did that happen too fast? I'll slow it down for you so you can just see it. Yeah. So Elon Musk is doing the Nazi salute. Because who's going to stop him? I mean, they had a whole Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden. Right? We heard the things that they were saying. Puerto Rico's a trash island. America is for Americans. Like, they were saying the thing. So Elon and the Nazi salute is only the natural progression of how this was going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in the administration is doing it at some point. Like, this is where we are, people. So wake up. Latinos for Trump, the little black people for Trump. I know it wasn't a lot, but it's too many. Y'all don't see this shit. Do you think, like, in a Nazi society that they would like the blacks and the Latinos? Do you think that's how that goes? Because if you think that, maybe you should look at your history, because it was all about who they thought was a superior race and wasn't no black people. I mean, Hitler had dark hair, but he thought the superior race was blonde and blue-eyed, right? Like, it ain't me and it ain't you. It ain't really Elon, but he's got wealth, right? So they're trying to bring it back in a different kind of way, kind of like Hitler. I don't get it. But we just kind of like we just let it go, and we're normalizing this shit, and we can't normalize this shit because I will tell everybody, anyone, like I said, I am constantly deprogramming my kids and giving them the correct programming, and I do that purposefully so that they can tell their friends, right? So now I have my oldest daughter, like, she really wasn't interested into politics until this last election. Now she's talking to me about this stuff. This is how important this is, that we keep people engaged and get the people, because it's not about reaching the MAGA right now. It's about re-engaging. It's about those people who sat home, to get them re-engaged every time we can. The people who are not necessarily MAGA, right, but just didn't pay real attention to what was going on and saying the both are evil and blah blah blah. I'd rather vote for the white man than the black woman, or the woman, because she's gonna get a period and she's gonna be too emotional. You know, that thing that T.I. said about Hillary Clinton. You know, those people, every time something happens or another breaking news executive order comes out, get on the phone, text them, send them an article and say, look what just happened. This is what you voted for? This is what you wanted? Because this is happening now. So that's what I would do. Let's just go on over to, because Elon did that Nazi salute and we seem to be quiet about it. I don't know. I didn't really hear the news talking about it. It definitely wasn't on local news. Let's hear how the Germans felt about this. Let's hear them talk about it. If I can find that clip. Here it is.
Inauguration. Let's see what people. Elon Musk do a hand gesture that looked a lot like a Nazi salute at Trump's inauguration. Let's see what people here in Germany think of it.
No,
I'm just like freezing. I can't believe that that's really happening. I can't imagine what it's gonna be like the next 4 years if this is just the beginning.
If he would be doing this in Germany, he would be arrested on the spot. I
I'm
know some
sorry
people
that I
might
didn't-
come with the excuse that
I
he is
didn't edit this
autistic. And as someone who
properly,
is autistic myself, this is not an excuse. I would never do this gesture.
We had this and we don't need this. And now we have to do some things that this won't escalate.
I don't really follow up on the internal things that's going on in the US, but let me say it like this, I'm not surprised.
America, really? You don't want that. Germany had it. Don't need to be repeated.
Yeah, sorry that was not the edited version. I apologize. But yeah, Germany's like, you don't want that. He would be arrested if he was in Germany doing that. That's how disgusting that is. Like, what do you talk? Like, what? Oh, these people, I tell you. So, let's keep going on. So again, like we were talking about how Trump now is controlling the social media platforms and the social media giants. Like, you know, they're going to push out all pro-Trump stuff. It has already started. My daughter sent me something today that she got from Instagram with like everyone's face blacked out except for a Haitian, because it had to be a Haitian, right? That they were picking him up to deport him. Granted, this guy did commit crimes, right? So I'm not saying, and no one is saying, and Democrats are not saying, like, we're not saying that people that are here illegally should stay here illegally who commit crimes. No one is saying that. Just across the board, no one has said that. Biden has not said that. And he has actually, no one talks about it. He deports people. Obama deported the most people, right? So it's a thing that has been happening. But again, Democrats did not talk about it properly, I guess, for the American people, where they thought that Democrats were sleeping on this. But anyway, going back on Instagram, so they show this thing, and they, you know, someone from Fox News, because I like Googled who is this account. It's like some guy who works at Fox News was running this Twitter account saying how, oh, this guy, you know, Trump is doing his job, is deporting people, and shows the black person's face, right? So what makes me wonder, what about like people from Europe who overstay their visas. Are we not getting those people? Or is it just like the black and brown ones, right? Like, huh? Because it's so many things going on. Because first he said it's just the criminals, right? So, okay, that makes sense. But now he's saying, I'm giving them the authority to go into churches and schools. So are the criminals in the school with the kids? Why are they going into the schools now? Like, so what are we doing? What are we doing? Make it make sense. But it's not going to make sense because it's about the big grand gesture and for him to give the red meat to the base. So it's got to look big. He's got to come out and be like, it's a state. America's in a state of emergency, energy emergency, immigration emergency. It's just emergencies everywhere, except climate change. That is one emergency he is not going to call. So everything is an emergency except for climate change and the fucking cost of your groceries. Apparently, he don't care about those. But anyway, so yeah, TikTok was banned last Sunday. Kind of banned, not really banned, closed down, shut down. I don't know. You go on there. Oh, China was at the inauguration. China is the owner, the Chinese own TikTok, right? So that was the whole thing with TikTok. Let's just back up again just a little bit. If I get any of my facts wrong, just drop it in the chat, that I misspoke. So from my understanding, TikTok is owned by Chinese people. Republicans and Democrats, but led by Republicans, are like, listen, this is not a good thing because the Chinese, who are not our allies, are spying on Americans. I mean, on its face, it makes sense, right? Yes, America spies on everyone else too, but like, if we know about it, why would we be like, oh, they're spying on us using this app? Let's leave it. So no. So it was a bipartisan bill. But both parties were like, okay, fine, that makes sense. Let's do a bill. Biden signed it, right? So whatever, it got challenged, goes to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court let the bill stand. Like, okay, the ban stands. So it goes down Sunday. But because Trump is like, hold a minute, TikTok helped me get elected. I see a deal here. So the Chinese owner of TikTok was at Trump's inauguration. Then TikTok says, basically, just hold tight. President Trump is going to take care of this. This is what he's telling the TikTok people when they tried to log on Sunday, right? So that's the manipulation part, letting these people think that Trump is going to take care of this. So like when this comes up, because of course it's going to come back up because he's going to ignore what the Supreme Court says because there's a deal to be made with China, right? And then everyone's going to say, oh shoot, Trump got this going back up. Well, Biden got rid of it. Biden didn't come up with that on his own. Republicans started that bill. He signed it. Like, I'll make it make sense. Also, guess what Trump was saying before? Let's find this because y'all just don't pay attention to stuff.
We are looking at.
Hold on.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok.
2020, as I said, Republicans led the charge to ban TikTok. With the felon on the forefront, right? This is him out of his mouth saying that. So why are we acting like he is the Messiah and he saved TikTok from freaking Biden or something? It's crazy.
We may be doing some other things. There are a couple of options, but a lot of things are happening. So we'll see what happens. But we are looking at a lot of alternatives with respect to TikTok.
I mean, this stuff, you can just find it. Just Google. That's it. Just Google. All right. So also what happened this week? Oh, Trump announced his infrastructure. Finally, I guess he's got some infrastructure, right? Because, well, I don't know, he didn't have it before. He kept saying he was going to do it. Biden's the one that had infrastructure, right? Roads, bridges, broadband, construction, just things going, jobs being created. Trump comes in and he's like, nope, just get rid of this bill. We're not doing this anymore. Like, imagine that. Good things are happening, and he's so evil and gross. He can't stand it unless it's from him or he can take credit. He can't stand it. So he announced his infrastructure plan, which was giving $500 billion to Stargate for the private sector to work on AI. So you got like OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank are Stargate. So he's investing $500 billion into AI. So from what I understand, Stargate already existed, and they've already been building like AI, like since 2024, they've been doing this. So it's interesting to hear him talk about this stuff. Like he's investing. It's like he uses the government like it's literally his money, right? Like he thinks it's his money and it's a way for him to make money from the government. He's like, he is investing $500 billion. It's like, y'all should be pissed off. Where are the grocery prices being lowered? Why is that not the first thing on the agenda? He's giving $500 billion here. What the hell's going on with the cost of y'all eggs, MAGA? Y'all ain't pissed about that? Because I would be. What about child care? Y'all couldn't vote for the black lady who said, I will help you with home ownership, who said, I will give you child tax credit for like the first year or whatever she said. I can't even remember now. She said, I will help with price gouging. I will have a price gouging bill. Every MAGA's like, no, we don't want that. Prescription negotiations with Big Pharma to lower prescriptions. MAGA's like, I don't want that. Trump ain't doing none of that. What he is doing is giving money to the wealthiest of the wealthy. That's oligarchy. Like that is what he's doing. His rich buddies is what he cares about, not you. And then by the way, he says, if I give $500 billion to Stargate, it's going to create 100,000 jobs. I don't know how that's creating 100,000 jobs if we're just working on AI. But even if, let's say it did, once AI is up and running, that shit's taking your job. Like that's why they have AI. That's part of the problem. They're not going to need you anymore. That's why the Hollywood was trying to renew contracts so that their likeness in AI wasn't going to be used in movies and in commercials and stuff. Because why do they need you if they have AI? So you're actually going to lose jobs with this stuff. So think about that, MAGA. Okay, let's go on next. What time is it? Oh, we're doing good. 30 minutes. So Donald Trump hit the ground running. All of his promises, just bing, bing, bing. He was just running. He getting it in, man. Again, one of the first things that I think this might have been the very first thing that he did was pardon J6ers. That was the first thing. Again, MAGA, the economy. What does that have to do with the economy, right? I keep saying that because I know everyone out there is going, girl, it was never about the economy. I know it wasn't about the economy. It's about hate. It's like hate, bigotry, and misogyny. I get it, but they kept saying it. He kept saying it. Some people did vote for him for the economy, and he ain't said shit about it. He hasn't announced anything. but he did pardon the J6ers because he said that they shouldn't have been there. They did ask him about like the violent, you just did a blanket pardon. He's like, it was too cumbersome to do all of them because it was like over 1,500 one at a time and review each case like you're supposed to do. It was just too cumbersome for him to do it. So he's just like, they all get out. You get a get out of jail free card. You get it, just all of you. We made a song. I mean, they can't be that bad. We made a song together. Let them go. They were hostages. Let them go, man. So he let them go. Let's see, who did he let go? Of course, Enrique Tarrio. I think Enrique had like a 22-year sentence or something because he wasn't there, but he was like the mastermind. And so was Stuart Rhodes. Oath Keepers and Proud Boys. Enrique's Proud Boys, Stuart Rhodes is Oath Keepers. Both of those were like the top dogs of all of this mess. So they got pretty hefty sentences. Yeah, he let him go. So Stuart Rhodes is at the Capitol today, right? So you let him go, and Oath Keepers and Proud Boys have access to the president. These are people, don't let Enrique Tarrio's name fool you because he's a white supremacist too, right? Like, don't let it fool you. They have access to the government, like call Trump, right? You know, he didn't free these people because he liked them. He didn't give a fuck about these people. He freed them for loyalty. You give them something and they're going to be loyal like dogs. They're going to be beholden to you. You let them out of prison. If that man called for them to storm the Capitol again, or if he did not want to leave the White House after 4 years, they will come. They will come and they will bring their buddies because he got them out of jail. That's what he's doing. He's using them. That wasn't like these guys shouldn't have. No, that's very strategic what he did. It's the same as with Pete Hegseth, nominating these people for these positions that they're not qualified for. Of course, they're going to be loyal to the end because they know there's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them because they're not qualified. So they will be loyal. If he got someone that was experienced, they'd be like, fuck you, I'm not doing what you're asking me to do. I'll get another job somewhere else, right? No, he knows what he's doing. Trump knows loyalty. There's some things he doesn't know, but there are some things he knows how to manipulate people. He's very good at that. So the J6 people got pardoned. It's really sad because, things we really don't think about are like the Capitol Police officers. Think about them. Michael Fanone had to get a protective order for him and his family. That shit is wild. An ex-Capitol Police officer now has to be protected by a protective order. Because Trump let the people who tried to kill him free. People who beat up the cops, so we're not backing the blue or what? Like, I can never keep up. But he did pardon some police. Michelle showed me. He pardoned, some cops that killed some black people. He pardoned them. So maybe that'll get police back on board with him because they seem to be a little pissed off right now that he released cop beaters. I don't know. It's just a mess. It really is. Oh, look at Paul out there. I guess I'm being hateful, guys. Whatever. Oh, since Paul is here, let's show Paul what actually happened. J6, right? Because they go like this because it didn't happen because, the J6 people, they were hostages. They were just there for a picnic, just innocent. Wait, what news? I always bring a news to the Capitol with me. What's wrong with you? So let's check out those nice guys during J6. Why not? Okay, let's go down. Hey, Paul, look.
Multiple capital injuries. Multiple capital injuries.
Multiple capital injuries. Multiple capital injuries. Look at those thugs beating up the police. Oh, wait. Paul's going to say, but those are Antifa. So Trump let Antifa out of jail? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It never does. But let's go. Matter of fact, let's rewind it. Unless Paul has run off because they don't like to see the truth. Let's go back and play it again.
Multiple capital injuries. Multiple capital injuries.
Are they beating the police with a stick? Wow, that's some picnic. Y'all ever been on a picnic like that? Because I haven't. I've never been on a picnic like that. And let's just say this too. A lot of these J6 individuals that were in jail pled guilty. They said they did it. They pled guilty. That ain't hateful at all. Flags, Confederate flags again. Where's Mike Pence? Got news. Nancy, where's Nancy? Like, that's such a wonderful day. Who would be upset about this day? This went on for 2 hours, right? 2.5 hours. Yeah, let's keep going. Oh, dang, Paul. That ain't hateful at all. What do we call this? Anyone want to take a stab at it? That's not beating police? Oh, is that not police? Is that Antifa? Or is that Black Lives Matter guy? Is that who that is? Like, I'm just confused what MAGA's trying to tell us. Like, they're literally trying to whitewash this and keep saying that this shit didn't happen, that no one got hurt, that no one outside of Ashley Babbitt or Bobbitt, or however you say her name, when the police told her to stand down, don't go in there, the Capitol Police, that were protecting the lawmakers from the fools and the people with the guns and the stun guns and the bear mace and the nooses and the Confederate flags and out there saying the N-word, protecting the lawmakers. She thought that she was going to bust through anyway. What did she think was going to happen? But let Paul tell it. Ultra MAGA, who probably ran away, this shit is a picnic. Let Trump tell it. Nothing happened. It's just not a bad thing. Every Republican that was there that day and the following day, what's his name? Lindsey Graham. This is it. This is the end of the line. This is a horrible day. The hell to pay, right? All of them. Man, Trump threatened them. They got scared. They just started backtracking. It was a picnic. No, we were fine. We saw Josh Hawley take off running. Stop playing. Capitol Police dead. One committed suicide from the trauma. But again, Paul says, I'm hateful. Yeah. Gotta love these MAGAs. All right. So that was part of what happened. First things first, pardon the J6. Among the people who were pardoned, let's just, because Trump said, I didn't do any review. I just let them all go. Right? Because they were all hostages. They were treated unfairly. So, wait a minute. Let me get my glasses. Andrew Grisby. He was there at J6 and he was arrested, 29 years old. So not only is Andrew Grisby an insurrectionist, he's a child predator. Oh, you didn't hear me? He's a child predator. Yeah, Trump released child predators. But Republicans are for the babies, ain't they? I mean, I thought that they were the ones that are protecting the girls from the trans, but Andrew Grisby here pled guilty last year to 2 counts of possession of child pornography. Trump let him go. So much for that. Let's talk about oh gosh, there was another one. Didn't he get rearrested today on a gun charge? You can't make this stuff up. You truly can't. Who else did he pardon? Not a part of J6, but he pardoned Ross Ulbricht or Ulbricht, I think he's the libertarian folks person. I don't know. Remember when Trump went and he spoke to the libertarian bros and they all booed him and they were like, free Ulbricht, or whatever his name is. And he's like, I'll do it. So Ulbricht, I hear, was serving a life sentence. This guy I have never heard of until Google, right? Google's MAGA. Google's really good. Like, you'll learn some things. So I Googled this guy, and apparently he is the founder of Silk Road, which is some dark net type of situation where you could illegally and anonymously get anything you want. Like, anything you want on the dark net, he can provide it for you. So one of his big things was drugs. Oh, Republicans aren't they trying to get rid of fentanyl, on the border, because all the Mexicans are bringing the fentanyl in? But Ross Ulbricht here can sell it on the dark web and he gets a pardon? Make it make sense? Make it make some sense? It's not making any sense, right? No, it's never going to make any sense. This dude is out here selling drugs, selling people, like whatever you want. He was actually doing it on the dark web, and he's out of jail right now. Maybe he's going to help with the cryptocurrency, because I think he was in a scheme with that too. So I don't know. This is what we get when we are not informed when we vote. Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen when you vote for a felon? Like, he's not a fake felon. He is a real felon. Do you think he's just gonna be like, yep, I stopped criming when he got away with it? Who stops criming when they get away with it? They go more, they do more because they've gotten away with it. And now he has government, Supreme Court, Senate, House of Representatives, the presidency. Why would he stop criming now? This is like the prime crime opportunity. What you mean? That White House is going to be crazy. Why do you think he's kicking people out of the government and putting in the loyalists so no one talks? It's so funny. Today, all the media is like a buzz because Donald Trump was hard on Putin. He was like, yeah, I'm going to do sanctions and I'm going to do tariffs. Like, what the fuck are we trading with Russia anyway? Who cares about tariffs? What are we getting from them? Are we still getting vodka? I don't know, but who cares? Sanctions, what? They're like, Trump was finally tough on Russia. Before he even talked to him. It's like, if y'all don't stop playing with me and stop trying to gaslight me, seriously, do we really think that felon, oh, my mic went out. Do we really think that Trump does not have a back channel to talk to Putin? Of course he has. He's got a back channel to talk to him. Donald Trump is not saying anything about Putin without Putin's approval. There's just absolutely no way. He's terrified of Putin. We saw it with our eyes where he could not, when he was face to face with him, call him out for election interference. He could not do it. He was like, well, he said he didn't do it. He'd call Americans out before he would call Putin out. So you mean to tell me he's getting tough on Putin? No, the fuck he's not. He called that man just like he did when he was trying to get Mexico to pay for the wall. He's like, come on, man. Just tell him, just say something. Just do me that solid. Just say you're going to pay for it. Even if you're not going to pay for it, just say it. Just give me something. That's what he does. It's not real. Just none of this whole presidency is not going to be real. If y'all don't stop playing with me, oh my God, my mic keeps going out. It's probably like, I'm going to be a conspiracy theorist. It's like Elon's in my mic. He keeps making it go out so you can't hear me. So that was a part of his pardons because he hit the ground running with that. Then after the pardons, let's attack the black, brown, and the women. Let's do that. They're next. You're it. Next. Because why not? Why not? So, executive orders. Here they come, right? Let's do that. DEI. We tried to tell you, like we tried to tell everyone that Project 2025 said in it that they were going to fire federal workers and replace them with loyalists. We tried to tell you. We really did. That's exactly what's going on right now. I don't know. I don't know if, people of color are paying attention. I don't know if like the vast majority of people of color understand what DEI is. Like, I don't know if they're being convinced by like Trump or Republicans that we don't need it because they're gaslighting you, right? They want you to believe that diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, is something that lowers the standards. It does not lower standards. It widens the net, right? It's an accountability. It is something that you go on so that it's like, you know what? Maybe I should not just put this ad for this job only in the New York Times, right? Like, so let's think of it like this. Ad for an attorney, an associate. If you only put it in the New York Times, that means that your applicants are only going to be a certain type of people, maybe white, middle-aged men, New York Times. But if you expand the ad and put it in Indeed, maybe go on to LinkedIn, you expand it out, then you get a more diverse group of applicants, right? That's what DEI is. It widens the net. It doesn't mean that you're getting substandard applicants and you have to hire them because they're Black, right? Because that's what they've whittled these letters down to: DEI, Black, brown, or people of color, or women, right? We've lowered their standards. DEI is lowering the standards, so it's just a bunch of dummies getting these jobs. So that equals to, i.e., people of color and women are dummies. Like, we're below the standard and we're just getting it because of the color of our skin. That's bull. That's just stupid. Like, you're playing a word salad when you're literally shoving Pam Bondi, or whatever her name is, Pete Hegseth, and the rest of these fools down our throats that have zero experience. They're DEI by your standard, MAGA. They're the DEI. Pete Hegseth is not qualified at all. He ran a little organization. He was running into the ground He's not qualified. But y'all give him a pass because he's white. But person of color, let it be a gay person, let it be a woman. Whoa, they're not qualified. Kamala's not qualified. Like the hell she wasn't. I heard Donald Trump today at the World Economic Organization, World Economic Organization, whatever that thing was he was at and speaking or trying to read. That's your idiot. He is the village fool. Because it sounded like it was a rally. Because all he did was rehash. He won. Here's the mandate. He beat them. Biden's horrible. Kamala's horrible. Everybody's horrible. Like it's an economic forum, idiot. But Kamala? Stop with all of the education that she has. Not to mention her appointments. It's just like, but she's black, so she must be dumb. Because that's what Republicans are trying to pin this on DEI. So my fear is that, our young people of color, our young LGBTQ plus members, hear them saying this, and they may think that they're not qualified for certain jobs, right? Because they hear this nonsense, right? Won't even bother to apply. That this is the result of, getting rid of programs like this. This program is not to give people a helping hand. It's just to make shit equal. Anyway, let's go back. Federal government. Anyone in freaking working for any DEI position, any part of the government that mentions diversity, y'all getting fired. And we told you were going to get fired. And he's going to replace you with nothing because he doesn't want it at all. So y'all ain't getting replaced. But other parts of the government, he's actually changing people's positions. So he's moving their positions to lower level positions and then bringing in the loyalists to head different divisions of the government. So he only has a government that is loyalist. So he doesn't have anyone in there telling anyone what he's doing. Reporters are going to have to work really, really hard to figure out what he's doing because he is going to try to hide everything. Back to the DEI. So we try to tell you, Black and Latinos, that this was going to happen. What are you saying? Well, I don't work for the government, so I don't care. Like, that's stupid because this is going to impact you because when companies get it in their heads, they're like, there's no consequence. No one's going to ask us. No one cares if we don't have any people of color here or no gay or it's not diverse. We're not going to hire you. So it's going to impact all of us. Like, it's just, oh my God. It burns me up that people don't think about this. Also, to add, injury to insult to injury. One of those. He revoked the banning of discrimination for federal contracts. Let me say that again. He revoked the banning of discrimination, meaning you can discriminate. You don't have to ban it anymore. I'm revoking the ban. So it's open season for federal contractors if you want to discriminate against them because he revoked the ban. Right? This is another impact of the nonsense that Trump is doing with like the affirmative action, the DEI, and banning and saying that basically racism doesn't exist. There's no discrimination while he's saying that it's okay to discriminate for federal contracts. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means just in general? When we're talking about DEI programs, that's not just about hiring, right? That's also about, say, who Walmart buys products from, who are their suppliers. So people of color or women with their own companies that are suppliers, they're not going to be in the mix anymore. Why? They don't have to be now, right? They don't have to be. He also, federal contractors, there are not going to be any Black and brown people or women. Women may get through. White women may get through, right? Federal contractors, no. That's done. I mean, do you remember that? I forgot the name of this grant, but these Black women set up this grant that was for Black female businesses, that they got this grant to help them with their businesses. And they were sued because white men said they were not able to get this grant because it was for Black women only and it was discriminatory. I don't know where it is in court right now. I don't think there's been a result to that case yet, but just imagine that. Black women get like 0.01% of business, of grants for businesses. White men get like 97%. And they're suing because Black women are getting grants specifically for Black women businesses because they've been locked out of that system. No one gives them grants, not because they don't have good businesses. It's just like they just don't want to give them grants. Like, that's how the system is set up. That's how the system is set up. But there's no racism. You know, he is making America great again for them. He said it. He said he wants it to go back to like the golden age. Like he does. He wants it to be like the Gilded Age when there was the very, very rich, and then there was just like broke motherfuckers. This is like there's no middle ground here. That's exactly what they want. And he wants to be prosperous, and then he'll give a little breadcrumbs along the way. It's like, why y'all want breadcrumbs? Why don't you want a whole piece of the pie? Why do you want the crumbs of the pie? Why do you want his fucking crumbs? I don't get it, MAGA. I really don't get it. Let's see. Another executive order, he wanted to take away birthright citizenship. Oh, I got to speed up now. Yeah, that got blocked in court today because it is against the Constitution. Again, a lot of this is just red meat, but this is definitely going to go to the Supreme Court. You never know with the Supreme Court. You know, maybe Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett will vote correctly with Ketanji and the rest of the Democrats, because you know Clarence Thomas and Alito, like them dudes are in Trump's pocket for sure. Again, you know, I don't see any executive order about price gouging or any of that, or childcare. So there's that piece. Let's keep going. Hegseth's sister-in-law says that he was abusive to one of his wives. He denies it, of course. The wife denies it because she has signed it, I think, some type of NDA. She can't talk about it anyway, even if he probably was, but I don't know. It's not factual, so I can't say that it is factual, but it doesn't matter. He's going to get put through anyway, which is unfortunate because he thinks that women should not be in the military or in combat for that matter. Did you guys see Bishop Marianne Budde? We are going to show that video if you didn't see her. And if you didn't see her, where have you been? Because she is spectacular. She did the prayer, ceremony the day after the inauguration, and let's hear what she had to say. Again, it is Bishop Marianne Budde. Let's go back.
Mr. President, millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens.
Look at their faces. Like, it's just, Paul in the chat calls the Democrats hateful. And look at these people. Like, look at them. A bishop is asking for mercy. Please show kindness. Please show mercy. All of the things that Jesus, that these people, I guarantee there's like 3 of those ladies with crosses around their neck, are supposed to stand for. But look at them. Hateful, evil, disgusting. They look disgusted, like, ugh, immigrants, ill. To who? Ill. Like, look at Melania, constant scowl on her face. It's just, what is this? It's like if you threw holy water on these people, they would just like melt. The only one that kind of looks like she has any empathy is JD Vance's wife. The rest of them are just like, can you get this bitch off the stage? Like, seriously. It's pretty unbelievable.
Or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land.
I'm not going to play all of it, but what's wrong with anything that she said? Just nothing. Just nothing. So I'm just going to hurry up and wrap it up. So we have Bishop Budde. Great sermon. Now, let's juxtapose it with Pastor Sewell, who performed, because yes, this is a performance for Trump for the inauguration. So let's listen to this raccoon.
Let freedom ring.
All right, let's go in the beginning.
From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring.
Why is he looking up? Dr. King didn't look up. Like, if you're going to do like a bad imitation of Dr. King Jr., at least do better. Like, this is ridiculous. Yes, this dude, Michelle. This is just, yes.
From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening.
He looks like he's doing a minstrel show. Like, he looks like he's about to just tap dance his way out of there. He looks like back in the day when they put blackface and big bug eyes and he's doing a performance for like the white people and they laughing because they love to be entertained, right? See, that woman, she didn't entertain them. Bishop Budde didn't entertain him. This guy, entertainment. Racists love black people when they entertain. Snoop Dogg, Kanye, or Nelly going to the inauguration and performing. He loves when you perform. I don't have the angle, but when he was doing all this, the rich, wealthy men behind him were laughing because they know that this was a clown act. Laughing. Like, are we serious right now? This is so disgusting and so disrespectful to Martin Luther King Jr. And it's like, I feel like a whole generation of younger people, and he's not that young, but he's not that old, like just disconnected away from the civil rights movement. Like they really don't understand what our ancestors have been through. Because it's like, for you to do that for money, because this is for a grift, to disrespect someone who lived and died for us, for you to it just even be to be able to be on the stage with a president and you're gonna do this shit. I mean, dude, if you're gonna give a sermon at an inaugural address, just fucking do a sermon. Like, just do a sermon. Why does it have to be all of that stuff? Because he knows that those races love when Black people put on a good show for the boss. That's what that is. You putting on a good show for the boss.
Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California.
What is he looking at? It's annoying me. You're not looking at any hill. You're not seeing California. You're not seeing Colorado. Why are you bugging your eyes out, flailing backwards and looking into the sky?
But God, we're asking you not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill.
If Trump really wanted to do something good, call this dude DEI and get him out of there, because this is ridiculous. Like, it's just, and I hear after this, he got into the cryptocurrency business too, because why wouldn't he? There's money in it for all of them. It's all a big crib. I guarantee that this is going to be Trump's new, what do you call him? Like, religious advisor or friggin' Solomon. I don't know. He's gonna be his new one. Like, we're gonna see this dude praying over Trump. It's just like, exactly. Why is he looking up in the air? It's so insane. But I'm gonna close out and I'm gonna leave you with someone who says exactly what I was feeling and what I am still feeling. So let's listen to her. I think that this is it. Okay, here we go. That is her. So we're going to end with her. I'm going to give the last word, as Lawrence O'Donnell says, to this sister right here.
Fucking glad. I hope Trump turned this. I'm fucking glad. I hope Trump turned this motherfucker every which way but loose. Because I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of y'all being dumb as fuck, hateful as hell. Y'all would rather have a president that would just tear some shit down instead for the benefit of y'all. Ooh, I'm glad. I hope y'all go to the store and have to buy one fucking egg for $100 fucking. Now take y'all asses back to work. Because I'm sick of y'all. What the fuck y'all sit there and vote for Donald Trump for? Tariff this, tariff that. Yeah, now y'all want to whine and cry. Don't say shit to me. Because I'm going to say, you voted for him. Put it on the t-shirt. You voted for him. Hey, if you didn't vote for Trump, y'all, we going to hold it down like we always been doing shit. Because ignorance cannot win. But it won today, bitch.
Yeah. How many days? How many executive orders? How many pardons? eggs, groceries, childcare, housing. But y'all got y'all immigration. We happy about that. Round them up, right? Round them illegals up. I don't care if I have to pay more for my prescription. I don't care. I don't care if he gets rid of Obamacare. I don't care. I don't care if I'm paying $50 for eggs. I don't care. Oh, wait, he withdrew us from the World Health Organization. We don't need any new friggin' vaccines. What we need that for? What? Vaccines? Who? Where? Let polio roll. Who cares? Let's all get the measles because RFK Jr. is back. Why not? What? Fluoride? We don't need fluoride. Let our teeth fall out from our gums. We rolling with Trump. That's what's up. Meanwhile, Trump and his billionaire friends will get all the vaccines. If there's another pandemic, they'll take care of their teeth. They got health insurance. They ain't worried about the cost of prescription. They got groceries galore. They don't care about the cost of nothing because they don't even buy their own groceries. They got nannies, so they don't care about childcare. They don't care if you can't get home insurance because of climate change. They don't care because they don't care. Trump will say there's no such thing as climate change, but then turn around, build a property in Ireland. In his contracts, he cites climate change for the reason that he wants to build a seawall. So he knows that there's climate change. So climate change is good for him when he needs to use it. But for you guys, tough shit. That's it. All right, everyone. Well, have a good night. Paul and the other races, y'all have a good night too. Michelle, thanks for popping in. Brian, if you're around, thank you too. I think there was someone else in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Hey, races, feel free to subscribe to the channel and come back next week, or join me and Brian on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock on the Black and White Show. Thank you, Michelle. Talk to you later.